True self. What's going on? Julie TV. It's been a minute. Montez Miller. I remember your name, but it's been a minute. Oh, come. Jam. Urban Guru. I got a couple. But y'all know too, this is question time. If y'all got any particular questions.
I got a question. So when is the start of learning the lessons and things like that? Like how does that begin, or how does that start? What is the process of it?
Yeah, fast 3 days.
Okay.
Then you get the lessons and you start studying.
So if I start tomorrow fasting 3 days, that'll be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday?
Right.
Okay. And then what, Monday do I come back? When you're here to get the lessons, do I come back?
You could come back at any time.
Okay.
They allowed you to put 2 comments in here, or is it just over here? You know, they cut Queen Mecca right off. Maybe it's some way we could let them know that you've been voted. You know the best way to figure out all these things. Is the feed freezing? I can't see it from right here. That's actually what I'm trying to look at. Hold on, let me see something. I can am I still frozen or am I 33 below zero? All right, yeah, see, it keeps stopping and going, huh? Am I still frozen or am I 33 below zero? All right, yeah, it looks like I'm back in effect now. I've been noticing the last couple of lives, man, has been tricky. But it's class time, guys. I gotta cut that off. I'm out. Some days, everybody think it's a party going on in here, man. But yeah, Queen Mecca, they, I see they back, they taking. But that's how you do. See, y'all look like y'all to the goods over there. Y'all ain't have no particular questions. Everybody got to do the each one, teach one, and hit the like button on this one right here, though. I don't know. Where's all our people? And share this on your Facebook and your Instagrams and Twitters and all of that. So we can get the rest of the people we know by now. We would have had the wordsmith would have been in here. The mathematician piece. There's a couple other heads. We had cut down the width of that miss crew. Oh well, maybe it just bees like that with the algorithm today. But yeah though, so what you been drawing up since last week we was here, right? Last Tuesday?
Yeah, last Tuesday. Drawn up as in just the whole thing of this?
Yeah, because you were just asking, when studying the lesson come about.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, you decided you want to, internalize it at the highest level. Because, you got different people. Like, right now, it's a dude that, he's giving lectures.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was at a university, and he gave a whole lecture on the 5%.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a Sufi. You know what I'm saying, himself. You know what I'm saying? He studied about us. And it's one of the things where, from my perspective, you can listen to his lecture and tell that you learn about us from some different people, but you're not really well versed in this right here.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because one thing you're gonna see, right? Is some people have limited sources of everything that happened. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that, even within the nation, but also dealing with the whole world of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Some people have one person, you know what I mean, or maybe one group of people that they learn from, right? And then it's difficult for them to see, the whole of reality, because they only studied amongst those small groups of people. You know what I'm saying? But see, just the nature of the 5% and how we, build with each other on lessons and everything, you're gonna end up getting more perspectives.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So even it might not be a person, I might not have walked with that person, but you might have walked with that person. So then when I build with you, you understand what I mean? You also have that perspective in mind.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But once you get the lessons right, see things you gotta, if you studying it from the internal, You see what I'm saying? Is that, our first duty, right, is to become and remain civilized. You see what I'm saying? We deal with, got your Bible right here. Somebody in the room that's aware of what St. Luke chapter 12, 48 verse says. See, we got St. Luke chapter 12, 47 verse, right? Which is, it's about responsibility. Mm-hmm. It's about the responsibility of the student. You know what I'm saying? All of this is in our degrees. You know what I'm saying? First it gives you Ezekiel chapter 3, 18 verse. You know what I'm saying? When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speaketh the warning from his wicked way, the same man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. You understand what I mean? That's also about the duty of the student. Because see, when you go back into the degree itself, right, that is for the teacher, it says, if a civilized person does not perform his duty, what must be done? If a civilized person does not perform his duty, which is teaching civilization to others, right? If a civilized person does not perform his duty, which is teaching civilization to others, right? He shall be punished with a severe punishment. You see what I'm saying? So that's telling you our duty, right? As a teacher and as a student. You know what I'm saying? Is as the teacher, you got to go out there, or your friends, or whoever it is. You know what I'm saying? That's our duty as saying we are 5%. You see what I mean? So in order for you to go out there and teach the people, though, right, about civilization, you have to become civilized, right? And you got to remain civilized, right? Because a lot of times, that's why person A can't teach person B, because person A is not really demonstrating that they know what they talking about. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, you ever have, somebody, they might be homeless, right? And they telling you all about where to get jobs and how to get all this money. And you looking at them like, yeah, but if you knew what you was talking about, why are you in this situation right here? Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you got to become and remain civilized, because the people is going to observe things in you too, and they're going to see if what you're saying, right, is matching up with, your actual life that you living. You know what I mean? The things that you're doing and everything. You see what I'm saying? There's certain things, if you was to take your child to school and drop them off and see the teacher displaying certain behaviors, you know what I'm saying, you wouldn't let them stay there. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? So, we have that duty, you know what I'm saying, which is to become civilized and remain civilized, right? And then to teach civilization. You see what I'm saying? So, it's a certain amount of accountability, first of all, in just saying that you got it. Because see, once you say that, and you saying that, okay, there's no higher powers over you. You understand what I mean? You saying that all that above is caused by the Son of Man, which is you. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So for a lot of people, and this is, kind of my...
So it's more about accountability.
Yeah. And we have to be accountable to ourselves, to the nation, and to the community out here. But that's... Every man is supposed to be accountable like that.
It's more like being sovereign to a certain extent.
Right. Yeah. You know what I mean? And understanding that, in a lot of situations, you got to show your civilization, right, in order to have people respect your civilization. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning, like I gave an example back in the days, right? I had to show my parents, right, that I was paying attention when I was crossing the street before they allowed me to cross the street. You understand what I'm saying? And in particular, at that time when I first started crossing the street by myself, Grand Concourse is like an 8-lane highway. So, that's the first street that I crossed by myself. Wow. To go to the supermarket that was right there. You understand what I'm saying? You know, but see, once I showed my level of responsibility of being able to take care of myself, you understand what I mean? Then they start leaving me alone to develop my own civilization. I don't want to go to the park where you going. I want to go to this park over here. You see what I'm saying? When you go out with your parents, you gotta go where they going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If they say, look, we gotta go to the park right now, you gotta go at that time. When they say, look, I'm ready to bounce, you gotta bounce. You see what I'm saying? But once you get to that age where you show that, okay, you getting the ropes of civilization and how to act outside, you know what I mean? How not to get yourself hurt, not get yourself killed, all these type of things. Now we start respecting your civilization and letting you do your thing. You see what I'm saying? The same way, look, with situations that happen with the police. You understand what I'm saying? You know, a lot of these things, right, is because we're not showing a level of civilization, right? To maintain civilization, the 5%, you know what I'm saying, this is the idea that we manifesting as far as the world that, you know, we creating. You understand what I'm saying? Is where, you know, the accountability is on us, the responsibility is on us. You understand what I mean? And then, so now, some of the oppression got to come off. You understand what I'm saying? You know, the suppression, whatever, civilization, right? You know, Roman civilization, you know, Greek, whatever you want to say, right? A part of their civilization, those, you know, when we talk about this modern thing that we talk about, different groups of people that, you know, they elevated their knowledge and wisdom to where they was able to dominate and have a historic impact. A part of their civilization is their ability to defend themselves. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, you know, George Washington is a part of the whole American civilization. You understand what I mean? In Valley Forge and all these things that happen. You know what I'm saying? Alexander, they don't like when I say Alexander the Great, they say Alexander the Greek. You know, Alexander the Greek was a part of Greek civilization. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, even in terms of saying, you know, when you developing, you know, Department of Agriculture, right? People gotta eat. You understand what I mean? You know, Department of Education, over time and space. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff that people learned 100 years ago, we still got that knowledge. You understand what I'm saying? And we able to build on top of that knowledge instead of having to reinvent the wheel for every new person that's born. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and that level of civilization works on every level. You know what I'm saying? In terms of, you know, that's one of the things that happen, right, in our community, right, is that each person that's born has to start from scratch. You see what I'm saying? Because there's no generational wealth, there's no, you know, there's nothing that goes intergenerational. You see what I'm saying? You know, and the things that do go intergenerational a lot of times is either not good or it's not under our control. Yeah. You understand what I mean? Like you got generations of people, you know, now in other places I've seen because their gangs last a lot longer. So you got people that they like 4 generations in, that they all been in this set since 1970. You understand what I'm saying? You know, the great grandparents, the grandparents, the parents, the child. Look, and now, you know, the little child, they got him dressed up in blue. You understand what I mean? Or whatever their color is. You see what I mean? Or in New York, in the shoes. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And everybody, you know, almost either so dope, they so crack. You understand what I'm saying? So, the enemy, where the enemy is going to unpunch you in the face, it's down to the nitty gritty of a lot of situations. People who they won't survive pretty much across the board, right? But that's for jobs. They don't compete with us for women. You understand what I mean? Because look, even with that, right? The only interracial sex they was trying to stop was between the black man and the black woman. I mean, the black man and the white woman. Because in reality, the white man has been having sex with the black woman the entire time. You know what I'm saying? So see, he look, he don't want you competing for his women. But he got no problem because he's already put you in a position where you can't compete with him for your woman either. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But all of this is because of they responsible for a lot of. You understand what I'm saying? Like French people don't. You ever seen a situation, right? There's a situation going on with Japan and China, where at that time Japan was strong and China was weak. So Japan invaded China, like before World War One. You know what I'm saying? And I think it was pretty much like in the 30s. When you see the movies, them Ip Man movies, but I'm saying, yeah, Ip Man really was dead. You know what I mean? That really was his time. What he did, if he really did all stuff in the movie, that's something different. But I'm saying America defeated Japan, you know what I'm saying? Then that occupation was over. You know what I'm saying? But the reason I brought that up, right, is about who you picking as your role models, right? Now, tables is turned, because to them, they're all war criminals. You understand what I'm saying? They came over here raping and pillaging. You see what I'm saying? So they have issues about that. You see what I'm saying? Now for us, we mostly have our role models chosen for us from the kind of entertainment group. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that disqualifies you. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because, at the end of the day, look, LeBron James is paying a lot of taxes. So yeah, if he got something to say, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying tell him don't say it. But I'm just saying that we all still got to think for ourselves. You understand what I mean? And LeBron, in particular, is somebody that he's not cultured. Like, see, for instance, right? You got Kobe, you got LeBron. Kobe didn't go to college either. But he still grew up in a certain level of society. You see what I'm saying? Where LeBron, when you tell him about the struggles that's going on out there in the streets, I lived it firsthand, I know. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's people out here right now, LeBron, break your heart right now. Like, that's all happened to you? You understand what I'm saying? So therefore, when these situations occur, you see LeBron right there on the front line always saying something. You know what I mean? Whereas you never really saw Kobe there because he never really had to experience, firsthand these kinds of things. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I'm saying that these is both two people that's elevated, right? They elevated. Now, the reason they elevating them is so they can sell $250 sneakers. You understand what I'm saying? Or whatever they cost now. You see what I'm saying? But it's also, right, to pick somebody who is reinforcing their values. You know what I'm saying? You reinforcing their value system. You see what I mean? So, let's take somebody else from not the NBA, right? Charles Barkley. You see what I'm saying? He reinforces their value system. You see what I'm saying? And there's some kind of money in that. There's some kind of money in that. You know what I mean? Even say you take somebody like Chris Rock, right? I like Chris Rock. You know what I'm saying? I don't, really particularly have nothing against him. And a lot of people, I don't think they realize what they doing. But see, one of the reasons Chris Rock get paid is because he says stuff in front of white people that white people can't say themselves about black people.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? That's one of the reasons. I'm not saying he's not funny. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that he didn't do the Black Hair movie. You know what I'm saying? That, that was good. But I'm saying on another level, one of the reasons you get paid is to make jokes about black people in front of white people that they want to say, but they know they can't say.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So certain people is going to be elevated, you know what I mean? And then, just dealing with the tactics that they use, you know what I'm saying? The rules and regulations that's not mentioned in the particular lessons, you know what I mean? Is, see in our lessons where it says that the devil was made, right? When it teaches about how the devil was made, it was a completely controlled environment. You understand what I mean? They went to an island, and was an isolated population. The same way they tell you in every other idea of where the devil came from. You know what I mean? Somehow it had to be an isolated population. Because see, one black person is going to mess up the mix. You understand what I'm saying? So, that's one way that they bring about what they want to bring about is by controlling the environment. But see, sometimes when they can't control the environment, right, then they try to direct it. You understand what I'm saying? Like just angle it in an angle, you can't stop it, deflect it. You see what I'm saying? So, for instance, with the 60s, they can deflect, they can direct the situation even by what they you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So I type just fucked up shit about them. Like right now, if Kennedy couldn't be the things that they choose to talk about. You understand what I mean? In terms of to start from the fallout with I can read yourself and really do the research as such about, they only talk about when he had problems with the NOI, but they don't talk as much about how the NOI lifted him up out of whatever he was doing. You understand what I'm saying? By the same token, they only choose to tell you about the beginning of Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King ends at the March on Washington. Tell you that, Huey Newton, he died in some, trying to get crack.
Yeah.
You directed the movement, right? From, like I said, if we look at those times that they left out from all those people, they don't tell you that, the movement and a certain thing, so now that would lead you in the other direction. You see what I'm saying? Or a role model, you understand what I'm saying? Just like when people say, the Christians, they posted. I'm still. Why is?
What did you say that verse was? You said it was St. Luke what? 12 and 47?
In St. Luke 12:47 is, and that servant which knew his Lord's will and prepared not himself shall be beaten with many stripes. You know what I'm saying? Now, chapter 12:48 verse say, and that servant which did not know his Lord's will and did not prepare himself shall still be beaten, but with less stripes. You see what I'm saying? See, it's a penalty for stuff you don't know too. You know what I mean? It's penalty. See, we like to say that justice is a penalty or reward. See, justice. You understand what I'm saying? That's the science of getting the lessons. You know what I'm saying? And saying that you standing perpendicular with all the brothers because we are. You you know, that's a term that's coined by the Christians and everything. You know what I'm saying? But we a Salvation Army. You know what I'm saying? To our people in our community, but in order to do that, we all gotta be on point. You know what I'm saying? Like something can't happen, and then some of us is you know, we on a different page.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because this is what they always exploit. You understand what I mean? Meaning like, you know, when the traders come to Africa, right? You know, or even when they come to North America, you know, one of the things they doing is playing all the tribes off of each other. See, people say divide and conquer, but in reality, there was a whole bunch of division by the time they came there to conquer. No matter what, I don't know this guy. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning that you know, meaning the traders, you know what I'm saying, the different you know, militias or whatever who's coming in, you know, you got people who is siding, right, with the Arab slave traders, with the European slave traders, over their brothers in West Africa. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, to a certain degree, you know what I'm saying, you know, yeah, they came in and took advantage of division. You see what I mean? Or just like, if you ever heard, well, the first way I heard the story, you know what I mean? Like, for instance, you talk about how they build heroes. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that was the guy's name Pizarro? Pizarro was one of the conquistadors. It was either Pizarro or Cortez. You know what I'm saying? And he is he's given the distinction of having led, I think it was supposed to be like 10 conquistadors supposedly came and took out the entire Mayan Empire. You know what I'm saying? But in reality, what it was is that I don't know if you ever, you know, seen anything about, you know, their culture and the way they did things, but they dealt with a lot of human sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? The people they were sacrificing was the other tribes that they had control over in the empire. You see what I'm saying? So, and of course they taxing them and all things of that nature. So the other people that was part of the empire, right, was ready to, you know, they didn't like them. So what they really did was sow that division amongst all those other tribes. You understand what I'm saying? Or the same thing when you deal with the Middle East right now. You know, the way the Middle East went from being the Ottoman Empire to the Middle East is that they went over there and found certain individuals like the Saudi family, right? They went and found certain individual that was disgruntled with the rule of the Ottomans. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then they got them to help them to subvert the Ottoman Empire, and then the people who helped them with that ended up being the leaders of all those countries after they split up the Ottoman Empire. You see what I'm saying? So that's why, you know, like I said, a lot of things that we look at, right, when we study the lessons and we see the things that went wrong, you know what I'm saying, whether it's the making of the devil, you know, the making of slaves, whatever, we got to reverse that whole process. You understand what I'm saying? You know, a lot of times in order to go back, you got to know how you got here. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, we discuss how we got here, you know, not just to be, you know, glorifying that or to say that, you know, it's the, you know, because it's like that, it can't be undone, but it's to actually know the science of it You understand what I'm saying? Like, we know, education is something that wasn't done. So we gotta do that. You understand what I'm saying? We know that certain imagery, you know what I'm saying, in terms of like, even right now, and you could take 99.99% of black people. You know what I'm saying? And, even if you're just watching it on TV and you see somebody that's black do something to somebody that's white, you're gonna be like, oh man, you in big trouble now. You see what I'm saying? As opposed to if you see him do something to somebody that's black, you like, oh man, these niggas out here crazy.
They normalize it.
Yeah, right. You see what I'm saying? And not only that, but you've just valued their life. Yes, I mean, you yourself is holding this mentality that somehow their safety and their life is worth more than one of our safety or our life. You see what I'm saying? Well, we can see that and be like, yeah, what that nigga did. People don't ever ask that.
When I was working, every time at work, call me all types of names, but my government name. But I also want to
like a small idea on the channel, shit.
Yeah.
And know that, but that's not. It's a way to control people of each other. You understand what I'm saying? In the movies, you know what I'm saying. So when they come here, they got the same mentalities. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what we see a lot of times, right? In our community, the people that make it, they leave. And they do whatever they decision, whatever they make, that's their decision. But I'm saying that the people, well, let me say this, the people that make it doing something constructive. You know what I'm saying? Like a person becomes a medical professional or a legal professional or something like that, right? They move out of the neighborhood. Whereas if a person becomes a champion stick-up kid or, becoming the role models. You understand what I'm saying? I'm saying those was the brothers, but because that duty existed, it's like you was looking up to them, but then when they talked to you, they told you you was one of them. You understand what I'm saying? You just in there, but that's the same thing that we gotta do, just like right in the mainstream media. He was like, what? Oh, color, that sound crazy. Why are y'all doing this? I'm like, how did y'all, that's it? That's what y'all do during the day? You understand what I'm saying? But now, I can tell you all about how the thing started, who the people was. I can tell you because it's mainstream media now. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Where, you can see how that image has taken control. You know what I'm saying? Just like the images that, was coming from, like the Cosby Show and other type of shows that was going on. Even in terms of, in the 70s when you had what's happening in Good Times, you know what I mean? The people was good people. They was living in bad neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? But they was good people. They wasn't, rerunning in professional image, different world, everybody going to college and that. A lot of the gangsterism, and YouTube. Because you saw somebody being successful at something, right? But you don't really know what they did in order to get where they at. And that's what you see right now, everything, the people is the way they are. You know what I'm saying? Also there's an issue with like all of the idols, right, being superstars. You see what I'm saying? Because
like you mean like celebrities or what do you mean by
celebrities, okay. You know what I'm saying? People who is like only a very small segment of the population is talented in that way. Like, see pounds and be able to run that fast and jump that high. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So the road that he took out of the hood is not really feasible for most people.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? You know, whereas, and that's kind of how it is right now. You know, everybody that's a superstar, you know, which that's something that happened a while ago. You can't really blame the young generation for that, you know. But at some point in the 90s, it came to the point where it was like, yo, look, if you getting money, whatever you doing, it's all good. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and that, you know, is another, which that's another thing that people is idolizing, money. Mm-hmm. You know, money itself. There's people that's worshiping money as a god. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know, but in general, you know what I'm saying, that's the science of teaching. You know, that's why somebody asked this question on there before. You know, we got a lesson that say, why does the devil teach and keep our people illiterate? Seeing it on face value, those two things don't go together. You see what I'm saying? Teaching.
What you mean it doesn't go together?
If you say teaching, right, that's generally means you're adding on to the person's literacy.
Okay, so teaching in that way, okay.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. But they teaching in another way, right, through the negative images. You see what I'm saying? So the negative images and the miseducation, right, keeps you illiterate still. No. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, all of those is the things right there that, you know, as we looking at society, we like, all right, these is all the polarities that we got to reverse right here. You know what I'm saying? You know, and you know, that's one that's gonna take a while. You know what I'm saying? You know, before you know, and that's another thing that happens too, is that, like right now, through the media, you picking people that didn't even make it to 25 years old. So if this is your role model, right, what becomes your plan for when you're 30? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. When your role model never made it to that time for you to know what they was doing, what it was going to add up to, or anything of that nature. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's another thing that they do. You know, they only, when they say a drug dealer, right, you know, the 80s era crack dealer, when they talk about them, they talk about the 18 months or 2 years that they was at their peak of getting money in the street. They don't talk about that, yo, this nigga been going like 28 years now, and he still got a while. You know what I'm saying? They don't talk about that. You know what I'm saying? They don't talk about, you know, yo, man, they got paralyzed, man. He in a wheelchair now. He all fucked up on government checks again. You government checks now. It's no more high rolling. You understand what I mean? And a lot of them people they talking about, it really is that short. You know what I'm saying? A lot of dudes, they look, maybe maximum 5 years. You know what I'm saying? That dudes really was on top of the game. And then after that, it was a whole motherfucking lifetime of fucking struggle and shit. You see what I'm saying? Huh. But if we only, you know, if that's how you gonna measure it, just by that period of time. You know what I'm saying? See, all these is the things that we go out there in the atmosphere, we gotta be able to tell the people how they got to right here, right? And how to get out. You know what I'm saying? Whoever's the savior, even if some people like, look, Harriet Tubman ain't have a whole bunch of time to talk. She's not going to tell you about the whole slave trade and John Hunter Hawkins and all that. But I'm telling you how to get out of here. You either ready or you not ready. You see what I'm saying? Moses, I'm telling y'all how to get out of here. You understand what I mean? Jesus, I'm going to tell you how to get out from under this oppression they doing on you. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta have the way out. So that's what we do with the supreme mathematics, in reference to the community. Because we got our own science that we gotta, each person, you gotta, like I said, you gotta become civilized yourself. You know what I mean? You got your own things that you gotta use your mathematics. You know what I'm saying? We gotta teach it to everybody though, right? Because, that's a fact too. That eventually they gotta use their own mathematics to save themselves. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just like you gotta use your mathematics to save your own life. You see what I'm saying? But just in terms of on a community-wide level, you know what I'm saying? On a level of civilization where, like I said, prior to us, with George Floyd, now they saying, he had all this fentanyl in the system, so now there's no way of knowing, what killed him. You see what I'm saying? So, whatever the charge was, they either gonna have to drop that down or he walks away with that. You know what I'm saying? Or
say it again. Okay, you said what George Floyd had in him?
Fentanyl.
But what does that got to do with anything?
They're saying that he had a lethal dosage of fentanyl. You know what I'm saying? And I saw some footage where they showed when the cops approached him at the car.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when they approached him, he was already kind of like halfway passed out on the steering wheel.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, for me, yeah, it don't justify what happened.
The actions that
You know,
took place, yeah.
Right. But at the same time, I'm saying, notice how the status quo came right back into effect.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Where, it went from a point where it appeared that it was going to be some consequences, right, for killing black people. You know what I'm saying? At this point, they've shown that everything ain't got to be seen by the naked eye. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I didn't even hear about that situation though. That's crazy.
Yeah. They got that situation. There's also a three-part series. You know what I'm saying? Is a three-part. It's 3 videos, right, about Breonna Taylor, and they basically saying like, look, when we rolled up, there was nothing in her house, but we know for a fact she's a part of this cartel right here.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They trying because I was hearing about it. They were trying to get the boyfriend to basically say some stuff on her,
all these different
but he wasn't
things.
willing to do that at the same time.
You see what I'm saying? And then they got all this other, from people talking too much on the jail phone to, who is it?
Come. Any air freshener?
Air freshener?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think so.
Alright, come. Thank you.
My thing is that no-knock warrant is deadly, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't know who's in the house. It could be kids in the house. It could be a whole lot going on.
Right.
You just barging in the crib.
Mm-hmm.
That alone is crazy. Regardless of what she may have been into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy.
And so yeah, and they got the boyfriend because he fired a shot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why now they got him on some type of attempt murder. So that's why they trying to. That's how they trying to pressure him now to like, look, you facing this time right here, the other brother, Ahmaud Arbery. Remember he
was running.
And right, look, I seen some footage where they showed 2 different things.
I seen that.
On one of them they showed him trespassing in a park.
Yeah.
And on the other one, they showed him, some type of shoplifting they claimed that him and some other kids was doing. You know what I'm
What
saying?
does that? But my thing is, what does that have to do with the situation at hand, though? I mean, like,
It's just.
I know it's society.
All you need
it's
is
bullshit.
the imagery.
Yeah.
All you need is the imagery, especially when you put it out there before, you know, all of the jury pool is seeing this. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know, Giuliani was famous for that. You know what I'm saying? Where the first thing, if the police do something to you, right? The first thing that happened is Giuliani come with your rap sheet.
All about it though, Giuliani got it.
Yeah. It don't matter what happened. Giuliani first is gonna read your operation. Running around with guns or whatever, he sees a black dude, just shoots him in the back. Dude turned out to be one of the police officers. You know what I'm saying? When the dude was, you know, he got shot up, so he's all sedated. You know what I'm saying? They had the white cop come into the hospital. He's on one side, Giuliani's on the other side, and they take the photo. I picture, like, if, you know, yeah, it's all good and shit. You know what I'm saying? Nigga ain't hurt that bad. You know what I mean? He understand. But in reality, once the dude came out of it, he's like, nah, I didn't even know they was there. And he's like, I didn't even know they was there, man. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But just saying that these are the tactics they use.
Imagery.
Yeah, right. All you gotta put is that they fit that image right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, some people, you know, like that was the issue with the dude, who was the dude in Chicago? And that was a dumb story. I couldn't believe that from the jump. The dude that claimed they put bleach on him or something and put a noose around his neck in Chicago.
Jesse,
Yeah.
the actor.
See,
Smollett.
listen. Here's the first thing. Here's the first thing. I was like, listen, man. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something right now. Everybody in the world, if you don't know this already, it is impossible for you to put a noose on a black man's neck without him noticing. It's impossible for you to put a noose on a black man's neck and he don't notice. And then it's even more impossible that a black man's gonna walk around with that noose on his neck for any reason. Yeah, so he said that, like, yeah, come on, man. Like, first of all, because that's the thing. See, I don't watch that much TV. So there's a lot of shows that I don't know if it's really that popular. Like, to me, I'm like, dude, are you really that popular? Like, you walking down the street and dudes from the Klan notice you? You know what I'm saying? Like who are you, Martin Luther King or something? Like, dude, hold up. Dudes in the Klan watch that show?
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how did they know it was you? Like, I heard about your character on the show, but I didn't know who he was. I never saw him before. So that's why I was like, you know. But if you notice, right, because he had a little different image, right, it goes into the mainstream media that, yeah, something really happened to him. You see what I'm saying? If he would have had a different type of image, yo, from St. Nick right here,
Oh, wow.
you know, did 2 beds upstate, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nah, we non-story. You know what I'm saying? Move on. But see, he had a kind of image. You understand what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, that's what they use because, you know, everybody in America, right? You got the opportunity to buy into that and receive rewards. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning, like, right now, let's take the immigrant people, you know, the Italians, the Irish, et cetera, right? Who they came to America after 1865, right? The ones that did. When they first got here, they wasn't white. They was Italian and Irish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Remember, Europe was full of war. They never saw each other as together. You understand what I'm saying? They never saw each other as together. Europe is really, I mean, not saying that it wasn't, the Roman Empire and all these things and the Charlemagne Empire and all these things is kind of the root of Europe, but really Europe is from the 1800s. Like, that's when they really first was like, all right, this whole thing right here is one thing and we gonna rock like that. That's really from the 1800s. You don't really, if you hear people talking about Europe in the 1500s, that's them using anachronistic language. You know what I'm saying? It's over there right now. The French don't like the English. The Germans don't like the French. You understand what I'm saying? So when they came over here, they didn't come over here as one thing. They came over here as all the different, anybody from New York, you would hear stories, right? That when colored people tell their stories, they always talk about how at one time to them, to their parents or grandparents, right? An Irish person marrying an Italian person was a mixed marriage.
You know what good movie? Because I was watching this morning. Gangs of New York depicts everything you said.
Right. Yes, I mean, they was all separate people. Right. So that's what I'm saying. Now how they go from Gangs in New York, right, to where they at right now is you have to buy into the whole of whiteness. And you have to buy into the part that, listen, you cannot do anything to allow them to compete with us. And then you could be down. You see what I'm saying? So look, if we move you into this community over here, you got to sign the, what they call it? The agreement where you agreed on selling no black people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for the in real estate, it's certain people that when you get the contract to buy the house, in there it says you can't sell to no black people.
That situation happened in Canarsie back in the days.
That's a fact.
Where it was
that's it. Yeah, that goes along with the redlining.
Yeah.
Covenants. That's what they call it. Racial covenants.
I'm gonna look into that.
You know what I'm saying? Where you wasn't allowed to sell. I mean, sometimes it was depending on where it was. It might have been more than black people on the list, but black people was always on the list. You understand what I'm saying? Certain places you might go, it might be Jews on the list too. You understand what I'm saying? But everywhere you went, black people was on the list. You see what I'm saying? So now, in order for you to come into this new community that we built, right, out here in the suburbs, right, in order for you to come in here and be one of us, you got to agree with this covenant right here. You got to become a whole part of the whiteness. You got to be down. You understand what I'm saying? And then you can, you don't have to worry about no Irish need apply no more, or, you know what I'm saying, all this type of thing. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, in order to do that, that's one of the things they did. You know what I'm saying? Even in terms of what a lot of us is doing in the cities. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of different reasons. When you hear the people that was down south, they talk about all this opportunity and all that type of stuff like that. But the reality is, when World War I started, they stopped bringing Italians and Irish into the country. They cut immigration off. See what I'm saying? Because you at war with some of these people's country. You see what I'm saying? So we don't, now they can't come in. So because they knew they wasn't going to have that new influx of labor coming in all the time, right? And then a certain segment of white men was going to get sent to the war, right? They was like, okay, we need to bring all these black people up here in order to fill that role, right? But then as soon as they get there, the immigrants feel like, yo, these cats just came up here to take our job. Especially because, look, you getting somebody who came out of sharecropping, you can pay them almost anything. You understand what a lot of them might have worked for free just as, I'm not in the field. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, this was another thing that prompted them to join the whiteness. You know what I'm saying? And really be a part of, and this is why I don't really care, when they say, you have a lot of colored people, especially here in New York, that they'll tell you that, I don't have nothing to do with slavery. My grandfather came here in 1908 when slavery was over. Yeah, but you still joined the whiteness though. You understand what I'm saying?
Benefit and all
And
that.
yeah, and all that's done by imagery.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If like even look, when you watch TV, right? They don't never really show you no peaceful Indians.
Never.
See, all the Indians in the movies is Plains Indians. They don't show you the kind of Indians that help them to eat. You know what I'm saying? They talk about it for Thanksgiving, but they don't show you those images.
Yeah.
Every image of an Indian, on TV, they vicious killers.
So basically, they was showing the image of we had to defend ourselves when we came to this country, instead of no, we invaded here. You understand?
Yeah, and see all that imagery right there, all that imagery.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Is what they use. You know what I'm saying? Like even in terms of and I'm not saying it don't happen. It could be some confirmation bias that I'm not really paying attention to that, so I don't see it, right? But they don't be showing you white people get shot down in the street like that.
No.
You understand what I'm saying? They showing you an image that, look, this is what happens to these people. If you a young black brother, look, this is what happens to y'all. This is what you got to look forward to, right?
Huh?
You see what I'm saying? So these is the ways, man, that they using that, you know what I'm saying, to miseducate everybody. And like I said, even with ourselves, we'll see that, we much more reluctant to do something if we in their area than if we in our area. All of that's still based on that image that they all powerful. You know what I'm saying? And that somehow things over here, it carries a greater weight. It carries a greater weight for them. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of our civilization, first of all, especially you deal with people getting shot. How many, it's something called a brain drain, where a situation happens and then the smart people end up getting caught up. You know what I'm saying? Like they end up leaving, you know what I'm saying? And then the people that's left behind, that society lost a certain segment of people that's supposed to be adding on a certain kind of weight. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in our communities, you know what I'm saying? Like if we just add it up, I've never seen the statistic before, but if we just add up all the inner cities, right? Let's say going back to 1980, you know what I'm saying? And how many brothers have been killed? Let's not even count the people that went to jail yet. You know what I'm saying? Let's just count the amount of people that have been killed, right? Listen, you have people that, could have been scientists. You have people that could have made the pros in every sport. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just on the law of averages. You understand what I'm saying? How many people might that have been? And then that time period I'm talking about is 40 years. You understand what I'm saying? So now, you know, a lot of dudes who, you know, they actually was powerful mentally, but what they applied their mental power to. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? In order to be able, a lot of these dudes, you know what I'm saying, if you would have sent them to Wharton Business School, you understand what I'm saying, and, you know, put them in, you know, J.C. Penney or something to be a CEO, they could have organized that the same way. You see what I'm saying? But this is the image what they had right here, and like I said, these are the people who is still in the neighborhood to be role models. Because see, that's one of the things that happened with integration. Is that now, you know, us doctors and lawyers, what do we want to stay around these dudes for?
Yeah.
We going to live in our own gated community. You see what I'm saying? So now, like I said, the role models that's been here since that time is mostly people that's doing something in the street. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, those are the things. They just now getting to time is for the numbers right here. You understand what I'm saying? You know, you know, we got a lesson where it say, you know, people experiment with high explosive.
With Darkim, what I do say to give him a call.
Who?
What I do.
Radu?
Yeah.
Radu, what, man? Look, you gotta tell people yeah. Listen, man. Let's start cutting off communication on Monday and Tuesday, man. You know what I'm saying? What I was saying before you cut me off?
I'm lost train.
Yeah. People don't understand.
This is somebody, us as a young man game.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Right. And so that, you know, there's a lot of things that you actually gotta see that whole history live itself out. You see what I mean? That's a certain degree of wisdom. Like, don't get me wrong, you can look at just what they're doing, right? And if you got the proper amount of understanding, you can see where it's headed. But see, one thing wisdom is, right? You see wisdom a lot of times associated with age. It's not necessarily the age, right? It's the amount of examples that a person's seen.
That's, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you've seen, you know, like, you know, when I'm growing up, it's, you know, these 20 dudes or whatever that's older than me, and I'm watching them, what they doing, but I don't really know how this works out because this is the first time I'm seeing it. You see, you got somebody old, right? That, yeah, I've been watching cats do this since the 30s. Turn out the same way every time. You know what I'm saying? So that's a certain amount of wisdom when they're able to tell you that, listen, don't go that route. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So there's a certain amount of wisdom now that's available to everybody because you can see the outcome of certain cycles we've been involved in, you know what I'm saying, since the 6th of cycles, right, where, you know, I mean, if you landed, right, you know, if this was like E.T. or something, right, and you landed right now in the you know, the New York City, you know, and you looked at TV and you would think that black people was all criminals.
Yeah, that's the funny, the crazy thing is, so like I said, growing up down south,
Mm-hmm.
like that was the idea, like what we saw on television as New York is what we thought was real life. Like I remember I was 18 moving up here. At 18, I remember like family members would say, "Oh man, you're moving to New York? Man, you're gonna die and get killed when you get up there." And I'm like, bruh, like really? So I'm just go up there and I'm just die. You know what I mean? Like that was the mentality. Like whatever they saw in the movie, they saw Jews, they saw New Jack City, so that was all of New York. Period. It wasn't.
I've been places where, look, when you just text there, right? You tell people, yo, you from New York City. They ask you how many times you've been shot and stabbed.
Yeah.
And I'm a little kid, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but because that's the image. Look, I even tell people, even within New York, right? The Bronx gets a worse reputation than other places, right?
Yeah.
Because of the 70s and TV. See, Brooklyn got movies like Saturday Night Fever. You understand what I'm saying?
Facts.
You know, Manhattan, of course, is Manhattan. You always gonna get, you know what I mean, the not always, but you know, they always gonna show you a good part of Manhattan.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean?
Somewhere
Yeah. See, yeah. Now look, out of all the boroughs, the Bronx got Fort Apache. And see, that went out with a certain image where certain people, they act like Harlem and Brooklyn wasn't the same way. You see what I'm saying? But because that imagery went out like that, that's how everybody seen it. You see what I'm saying? Even with TV, the Bronx Zoo, look, they got people that call themselves the Brooklyn Zoo. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the, you understand what I'm saying? And, all those things is hugely powerful because, like I said, you controlling people's creative power. You know what I'm saying? What images a person is able, and when you forming your own image, you see what I'm saying, then you fully in control with it. You know what I'm saying? But if you all you got is, from the time you growing up, they showing you Mickey Mouse and Ronald McDonald, you know what I'm saying, and all. They had no idea, like they thought it was gonna be Mickey Mouse and Coca-Cola. They didn't know that they was touching down in the crack area. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yeah, if I'd have known that.
Yeah, it's just like what happened to black people. Like back in the day, they didn't know what was going on until, like, the internet exposed most of the stuff that goes on in our community. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like before that, people just thought America was like this greatest place ever. Everybody wanted to come there until they realized, hey, there's some fucked up shit going on there.
Most definitely. What's that? I think I'm plugged in. You know what I'm saying? So they right, the Warriors movie. That's another thing they put on the Bronx. That's what I'm saying. If you think about if you think about all the Bronx movies, right? They all something where it tells you people up there is animals. That's the image that it put up there. Nah, I'm saying, cause see, for me, I'm like a little bit, like, see, we laughing, but at the same time, right? You got all these colored people, right? They got paid off our pain, son. You understand what I'm saying? That y'all never was really from here. Paul Newman and all these people like that. You understand what I'm saying? And y'all really just came and capitalized off our pain, son. See what I'm saying? Saying, look, they doing it now to Chicago. They did it before the LA. You understand what I'm saying? Where you just coming in and you making a whole bunch of loot, you know what I'm saying, off our pain over here. You see what I'm saying? So, and that's enough. They don't leave no stone unturned. Like, even if they don't cause something to happen, they take full advantage of it. You understand what I'm saying? They find a way to manipulate this thing into benefit for them. You understand what I'm saying? So, the same thing is happening now. We're, and all that now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they know what they're doing. Look, what do they do when send it to the news? You ever notice that they never read that note? The reason for that is they don't want other people to think that this is how you get on the news. They know that it's a certain segment of people that they not even going to see that you got locked up. All they want to see is that you got them to read all your ideas on the news for the whole world. And for some people, that's enough for them to go do what you did. Or find people in their death, you making the little kids think you go down in history or other image there of how they gonna make it? All they role models got killed by the time they was 25. So if a person is looking at the clock ticking for a short period of time like that, and they thinking, well, you know, look, I gotta go out with a bang. But that's why I said that's a certain image that they showing you every time they show you. You know what I mean? Because look, I you know, for me, you know, it's one of them things where, like, I would say the last, and it's wild that you could even speak in terms like this, but I would say like the last, like 8, 9 times, you know, like at some point in the last 2 years, right, I had reached the point where it was like, yo, I'll see the headline, you know what I mean, you know, like the brother got shot at Wendy's, right down south, you know, you see the headline, and it's like, yo, man, you know, I really don't want to see this, you know what I'm saying, like, I really don't want to see this. I don't, you know what I mean? It's not the image that I want to see. You know what I mean? But then I'll be conflicted because I'll be like, damn, you not letting it sink in how urgent this shit is.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because, you know, you don't want to look at it, but maybe it's supposed to impact you like that. Yes, and I mean, to make you bring about a change in it. You know what I'm saying? Kind of, you know, on the same tip where Emmett Till, you know what I'm saying, his mom said that's the reason why she left the casket open, so that people could, you know, actually, you know, I speak the language of these books. So see, for instance, when it said, you know, God created man in his own image, right? The black man is God. So that's one thing it's telling you, that the image that you have created in your mind, right, is going to be the man that you is out here. You see what I'm saying? Because those images is what you're going to activate off of. You know what I'm saying? If you have an image of yourself as, you know, a crazy killer, then you want to go out and kill crazy. You understand what I'm saying? If you have an image of yourself as, you know, a scientist, you're gonna go out and be a scientist. You know what I'm saying? That's what you wanna manifest in life. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, that's one of the things that we deal with, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, you know, creating that image for the whole community. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Yeah.
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 You know what I'm saying? You know, and you know, another thing that you know I would tell you, you know what I'm saying, at the start is you know, deal with the young, man. Like that's what's happening. Is that, you know, society is waiting too long. You know, a lot of it is because society has been dumbed down. You know what I'm saying? To where, you know, when you got like 8 years old, you know, at one time they start already telling you, all right, look, you gotta get ready to be a man. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now you got dudes that's 25, 30 that they talk about, oh, they still kids. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So society has been dumbed down to a certain degree where, you know, by you looking at it like that, what I'm saying is that by the time you get to these 25, 30-year-old kids, their images is already set. They're already at the point where they, you know, what you gonna tell them then? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's the real youth. And see, what happens with that, right, is that's really planting seeds. See, you plant those seeds, you know, you might teach 100 young brothers, right? Let's just say, for example, right? You know, they got all different characteristics, all different ways. You see what I'm saying? But if you start planting the seeds at that point, then as they grow up, you understand what I mean? They're gonna become who they supposed to be. You see what I'm saying? It's not that, a lot of times people go out there and you're looking for the perfect person already. They're already vegan. You know what I'm saying? They already don't believe in Christianity. You wasting your time. You see what I mean? Because what's gonna happen is that person, right? They've already had their value system kind of set. And so how they measure what's right and what's wrong, right, is based on some other system that they already learned. And so they really using that system to try to analyze mathematics. See, that's the difference between, me and, other people who might have got the knowledge later, is that the supreme mathematics is, and it doesn't match up with supreme mathematics, then I'm going to throw that other thing away. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But if you already have your measuring system, right, and then you come into the same conflict, right, with information that you're getting, you're going to be much more quick to question the supreme mathematics and what it's showing prove, because you already got another system. You see what I'm saying? This is like, look, I tell people this, and you're going to run into this when you go out there teaching. You ain't supposed to understand everything I'm telling you. Otherwise, it wouldn't be teaching. The first time the teacher told you about multiplication, you didn't understand it. You had to, deal with a little repetition, and then after a while, it started making sense to you. You know what I'm saying? Once they really break it down and, show you what it means, show you what you actually doing, what the calculation is all about. But if you expecting to just, have a firm grasp of everything that's being presented, see, for me personally, look, there's certain populations of people that you ain't no good no more. You understand what I'm saying? In terms of learning, once you get to certain levels, then look, it's not that you can't learn, but it's that you gotta teach yourself now.
That's real.
One only learns what one teaches itself.
That's real.
You understand what I'm saying? And look, everybody, if you got kids, you see it reaches that level where, you think you know everything now. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So you know what? I'm not even gonna say nothing to you. I already told you.
Experience is the best teacher sometimes.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So, once you get a person that's at that level where they feel like, yo, I don't need to listen, I don't need to this, I don't need to that, then really this person is no longer a candidate for being taught. You understand what I'm saying? Because, that's just something that, you gotta be able to accept that you're ignorant, right? To be able to accept the knowledge of something that somebody is presenting to you.
So question, in that reference, how do you work around that though? So if it's someone, if it's someone that is in our community who we're trying to teach, right? Mm-hmm. And it just seems like they don't want to get things, but do you just move on from them, or do you try to?
Yeah.
Just move on from them?
Me personally, yeah. I mean, see, and this is another thing you're gonna run into, right? Mm-hmm. You can't want the knowledge for somebody more than they want it for themselves.
Got it.
You know what I mean? So, look, and that's with anything. You can't want somebody to not smoke crack more than they don't want to smoke crack for themselves. It just ain't gonna work. You understand what I'm saying? And see what happens with the knowledge. If you want somebody to have the knowledge more than they want to have it for themselves, right? Then you're gonna end up compromising the knowledge. You understand what I'm saying? Because of things that they not gonna agree with. So then you're gonna end up with a situation like religions, where you got all these pagan practices, right, that you allow into the religion, because you wanted those people. You wanted to control those people more than those people wanted to be a part of your religion.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying? So in order to do that, you had to, with some people, I mean, and like I said, look, when you move on, right? That don't mean necessarily you gave up on the person. There's gonna be some people that come back later and say, "Oh, I see what you're saying now. I had this experience, man. I thought you was bullshit, but I see it now." You understand what I'm saying? Or just like, we say, well, we don't say, but it takes light 500 seconds to reach the planet Earth, right? 8 minutes and 20 seconds. It takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds for the light to reach a person sometimes too. And see, everybody's not on the planet Earth. Now we say some people like, man, you way out there. You way out there. So wherever you at, all the time me just beating you in the head over and over and over is not gonna make a difference. I gotta wait to that degree of time when that light gets to you. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then even when that light gets to you, depending on who and what you are, right, depends on what you do with that light. See, we the original man. We do the most out of everybody with light. You understand what I'm saying? Out of everything that exists, we do the most with light. Other things reflect the light right off. It don't absorb. Some things get destroyed by the light.
That's a fact.
Yeah, that's, you understand what I mean? So all these different things is gonna happen. These is different examples of what you're gonna see happening, you know what I'm saying, with different people that you coming in tune with, and at the end of the day, why I look like my phone ain't charging? I don't know, y'all on the stream. Something's not right with my I got it plugged in.
That's the first time I've ever seen it act like that.
I got it plugged in, but it's down to 3%. So I don't know.
So it wasn't even charging at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if we about to get cut off.
You would know.
Or if it's doing the right thing now.
So is it charging backwards?
Yeah. See, I had it plugged into this, but I think the battery ran.
I got you.
But it shouldn't have ran that quick though. Oh, let me see. Real hip hop. Yeah, I don't know. The buffering too. I have no idea what's going on. Real hip hop, what you up to, man? You studying your lessons? All right, I think we on. I think we charging.
Good.
You study every day. So what degrees you on now? Let's see. Real hip hop. We need to know what you studying. You teach lessons. Yeah, my phone is getting up there too. This is the 10. What they up to now? 12?
You know, it's like, I'm good, man.
Yeah, that's how.
Especially
I
this
think I even got the thing where like my insurance or something is kicked in. Well, I get a new one.
I'm good.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Good,
look,
bro.
And then look, these things get more and more Illuminati as time goes on
That's
too.
right.
Man. You like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, look, this phone do too much, man.
Yeah. I'm good.
So wait, what is this 6 to 10 in the student enrollment? What does that mean? That's what degrees you look. Cause I know you ain't saying that's what you're teaching. That's another. I have
The facts. Do you think they'll get the information and it'll be more fresh?
attention. You know, they got the knowledge. You know, he's born mentally and physically. It's people that I could ask. We done met all the other people in the family, and you know, we go to school. Everybody else believe in. Things that I kind of like. You know, so I'm watching and said, look, he stayed there till everything was finished, and then he left. They tell us, all the it was actually me and these two other brothers, right? That anytime one of us got in trouble, they found a way. The person that came in and it beat orange. Like before that, you had to come in and you put your card in the machine, and if you didn't go in school yet, it'd beat green. If you already went in school, it'd beat red. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So one day I come in and the shit beat orange. The hell is that? You know what I'm saying? Yo, the whole D's office came out, the security office came out from this side. I'm like, yo, what happened? I get to the thing, they got me written up for being in the hallway with these two. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I don't even know. Like, nah, we saw y'all. Like, ah, man. But, those types of things, it starts showing me that, yo, this 5% thing is serious. You know what I'm saying? It's on, it's on every level. You know what I'm saying? And, but
He was mad young at that point in time, so.
yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we was much more hype, and it was a more everyday thing too, where, I'm being with these brothers every day. I wish that I could recall, like when I knowledge 120, I don't really recall. I know I was knowledge equality. Just a lot of things that happened. I don't really recall. It was like 90. Like 92, 93. You know what I'm saying?
He was teaching the classes at a young age.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't paying attention. That's what I'm saying. A lot of them things, it came in time. But yeah, that's what you're doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Is, you know, said, you know, I realized it when my seeds asked me that, yo, yeah, this is history in terms of, you know, the things I'm doing, right? It's not just my history. I'm saying, you know, so yeah, that's, you know, I actually think that's important. You know what I'm saying? I think that's something that, you know, I missed out on. You know, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but I do wish that I knew those kinds of things.
So do your kids have knowledge, or your seeds rather? Cause you know, I heard you say they asked you about it, so
they got the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? They in varying degrees of activating it.
okay, gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You know, all the way from, you know, yeah, I got to set that's the 10%. You know what I'm saying? You know, I set it as 5%. You know, but see, I got one son that's like, you know, he never, you know, you're not gonna catch him eating no ham sandwich or being in church or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But if you think that he's gonna go outside and tell somebody else that they got, nah, he's not gonna do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he is not gonna lose the knowledge. He's gonna activate on the knowledge, and then these people over here, they just never gonna know why he's able to excel. You understand what I'm saying? All the way to you know, I got a daughter that's she's pretty much like an activist. You know what I'm saying? Like she you know, gets invited on shows and everything, you know, and you know, she'll hit me up and ask me, you know, for some copies of the lessons to, you know, the people that she's teaching, like in school and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, you know, and everything in between those two. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But nobody is a straight 85%.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? You know, mostly, well, I would say three of them taught somebody before. You know what I'm saying? That I could, you know, the other two may have, but I don't. You know what I'm saying? That's another whole issue, you know, in terms of with them. See, because this is not religion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gotta make their own decision,
Gotcha.
including them. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know, you know, I chose to be in the knowledge, right? And then this was thrusted upon them because of that. You see what I'm saying? But, you know, one thing that, you know, came down to me from the law was that, you know, this thing that we doing right here, this traveled through the mind, not the bloodstream.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying?
So it's basically not forced upon them. Like if they choose to do it, they choose to do it. If they don't, they don't. To a certain extent.
Well, I mean, up into, you know, they pretty much go by the same stages, you know what I'm saying? When you start getting 11, 12, 13, you know, you start being ready to have your own culture. You understand what I mean? You know, before that, yeah, they got to go to the rally when I go to the rally.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, once they reach an age where, you know, you know, you gotta make your own decision. You see what I'm saying? Because, you know, they already got out of it what they gonna get out of it because of what I did. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever they gonna continue to get out of it is gotta be because of what they put in. You know what I'm saying? So you know, that's the situation with the young. You know, that is something. But see, I'm gonna tell you another thing that happened with our young. And you know, this is a part of our duty that we got to do is there's too much that we got to send them amongst the colored people for.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And so then when they get over there, you know, that start to have a huge impact on them. You know what I'm saying? You know, like you know, you could live in the Jewish world, right, and never really go outside of it. You know what I mean? You could go to Jewish school, you know, you could go to the yeshiva for college, you know, become a lawyer, work at, you know, a Jewish law firm, you know what I'm saying, and never leave that world. You understand what I'm saying? You know, with us, pretty much, you know, at 5 or 6, we turning them over there. You know what I'm saying? And even in terms of, you know, what we celebrate a lot of times, you know, and this ain't just for 5%, you know, for as black people in general, we celebrate them excelling in that world.
Yeah. And punishment, the same thing.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so they a lot of times, you know, they become attracted to the other things that's in that world, especially when those things can help them accomplish whatever it is they trying to do. You understand what I mean? Like if they want to become, like I said, a lawyer, you know, then you got to go amongst that world. You know what I'm saying? And once they, you know, because, you know, that's a level of the game too. You know what I'm saying? In terms of society, you know, that's a level of what assimilation is. You understand what I'm saying? When you gotta go amongst that culture, you know what I'm saying, and accomplish things with them. So then, you know, it's gonna be difficult, you know, not to soften your stance. You know what I'm saying, about you know, all the things that's happening. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's one of the things that happens, you know, is first of all we send them there. So now when we send them there, you know, 2 cultures, right? That is not ours. You know what I'm saying? First, they getting exposed to the greater culture. They going to school, learn the Star Spangled Banner. George Washington never told a lie. Thomas Jefferson's the greatest ever. You understand what I'm saying? But then they also learning from the culture of the other kids. So you may not listen to Meg Thee Stallion in your house. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. But look, I know my daughters have heard Meg Thee Stallion, even though, you know, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then this is what ends up happening to them. You understand what I'm saying? Now it's different once you make a decision, you know, that so you know, my daughter's like a little bit younger than me than when I got the knowledge, right? You know, but because I made a certain decision already, then I immersed myself in the 5% culture. You see what I'm saying? So then even when, you know, when I was in class, you know, I wasn't an English student. I'm a 5% in English class. You understand what I'm saying? You know, so you know, that to me is you know, one of the greatest aspects that we gotta accomplish, right? To save our babies. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The ones that's actual 5%. You know what I mean? Because you gotta be able to build those as institutions, right? That become pillars of the community. You see what I'm saying? And one of the reasons that I first started seeing that you need that, right, is that a lot of dudes that was great men, right, for the whole of society, right, you know, they family, like I'm saying, you know, Malcolm X family, you know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, they benefited from the stuff that he did as a black leader, you know what I'm saying? But in terms of being a father, you know what I'm saying, he got killed at 39. You see what I'm saying? When all of them was still little, so then, you know, being that there was no institution there to keep guiding them on the path that he would have had established for them, you understand what I mean? They end up going through trials and tribulations, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, even Martin Luther King, his kids be fighting all the time. Like some of his kids are suing the other kids over his center, you understand what I mean? That's because, well, they had a little bit more of an institution because they from the church. So a lot of his kids, they all preachers and everything, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, they got more into that part than, you know, at least that I seen of them dealing with any type of social change type of thing, you know what I'm saying? You know, or, you know, even the law. You know what I'm saying? You know, when he returned, he still had young kids. You know what I'm saying? You know, and, you know, some of his family, they became a part of the institution that he established. You know what I'm saying? Which is the nation. You know, and some of the other ones, they didn't become a part of the institution. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's a level of civilization. Well, like I said, when you can show and prove you got your own civilization, that other people realize that they gotta fall back. You know what I mean? So just like, you know, you got Catholic school, you got Jewish school, you know, you got Afrocentric school, you got Muslim school. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and until you know, that's the type of thing that we need to do, right, in order to ensure that our babies excel in this like we did. You know what I'm saying? But that's another big thing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of what happened. You know, older brothers schooling younger brothers. You know, older sisters. Having wisdom and understanding around the street.
Co-optation society, yeah.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, it's not just for our seeds, you know what I'm saying? It's for all seeds. You know, not just about the 5%, but, you know, about, you know, our society in general. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of the progress that was made is not evident right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, even in terms of, like, we was talking about music, you know, a lot of dudes that we talk about the knowledge that they was dropping, right? They was like 16, 17, 18, 19. You know what I'm saying? Like Rakim, when he came out, was like 16, 17. You see what I mean? But the stuff that he was talking about, you know what I mean? KRS was like 20 or something like that. But the stuff that he was talking about was way more advanced. You know, that's what all that is a part of. You know, but those is all the things that you gotta figure out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, attention spans like that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You know, when I got to now, like, you know, I want to look like right around now. Well, we should be like, look, man, I'm ready to go back to school, man.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing popping out here right now. I'm ready to go back to school. Man. You understand what I'm saying? But so all of those is those are the things that you gotta figure out. You know what I'm saying? How to turn paragraphs, sometimes even a book, right, into a short statement where you can get your point across. To witness they're right on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But that, like, to a certain extent, like, all of that is a part of the plan. Mm-hmm. How they hit off all our leaders at that point in time, like, it was Black Panther Party who grew out of it, the younger ones, but the older ones, it's like it handicapped them to. This nation is like just one person that everybody follow. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's different people. So if one thing happened to one person, you still can get it from everybody else. But if we only depending on one person to lead us, then after that person gone, who do we have anymore? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's I feel like that was part of the plan of anyway. Like, and each time, like even to this point, like you think about we got Nipsey Hussle, who was a very smart young man. You know who Nipsey Hussle is? Mm-hmm. Like at this point in time, like he's a smart young man. He was speaking about gang culture and how bringing the gang culture in LA and bringing all Crenshaw together. And you know what I mean, giving us people knowledge about everything. They took him out, and then it's like, yo, a lot of people's like, yo, what? But you got some young ones, they thinking, okay, he gave us some, so we still got a CD we can go. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, man. It's like it's targeted basically. Yeah. It's to make us not have the information that we need to keep progressing, but to make us fearful. So we can. It's like religion to the same extent. Like it's all the way around the board, you know.
See, when they start killing all them people, they planted a lot. A lot of people that was rolling with Martin Luther King, they became government people.
Yeah.
Lewis.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All of them became a
part of the system that
right.
they was trying to be against.
You know what I'm saying? And
crazy.
Not Sharpton. What was it?
And and it was certain people that just wanted to deal with white girls. You understand what I'm saying? And so for some people that look, if you came for money or certain things, you know what I'm saying, and once that got spread around, that was it. You know what I'm saying? But the whole full picture, they wasn't really looking at that for everybody. You know what I'm saying? But definitely, after that occurred, really the whole 60s. You know what I'm saying? Even look, including the Kennedys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like after that, there was kind of a, because remember you had those the Kent State where they shot up those kids.
Mm-hmm.
There's another college down in South Carolina where they shot up some black kids, but that one ain't famous like that. You know what I'm saying? But the system basically demonstrated that, look, we'll kill you. You understand what I mean? We'll hurt you real fucking bad. You know what I'm saying? If you keep agitating. You know what I'm saying? And so I think a lot of them, even if they wasn't fully scared, they just thought that at this point, it's no need in getting killed. We might as well try to work with, you know what I'm saying, whatever little bit of stuff we did get from this movement, you know what I'm saying? But you know, yeah, that definitely did happen. You know, and just in terms of them wanting to kill the civil rights movement, you know, to me, the kind of like the last thing was like the LA riots. Like that was like if you just going by the age group, generally speaking, you know what I mean? The dudes that was out there at the LA riots was the dudes that grew up on the Black Panther type of, you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And you know, they was the dudes that saw roots. You know what I'm saying? When you know, at a very early age, you know, to where that's a part of the way they formed a view of colored people.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? You know, and you know what they did to that is they gave out a whole bunch of money. You know what I'm saying? So now, you know, everybody's more interested in protecting a piece of the pie. You know what I'm saying? Than you know, really trying to achieve any freedom, justice, and equality. You know, so, you know, if you look kind of across the board, right? You know, when the LA riots was 92, you know, if you look at 1991, 1990, and you look at NBA players, they wasn't getting that kind of money. Like if you wasn't, you know, Dr. J, Magic Johnson, Kareem, you had to have a job in the off season. You know what I'm saying? You know, in rap music, you know, dudes was wearing the Africa patches and all of that, you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, everybody had diamond jewelry, you know what I'm saying? So now that you got the Jesus piece on, you talking about the Jesus piece. You understand what I'm saying? As opposed to when you had the Africa patch on, you talking about some of my original people. You understand what I mean?
That's funny how that, yeah.
Yeah, it just, and they use that to kind of derail the movement by giving people a stake, you know, giving people a stake in the oppression. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, now in the person's mind, they're defending their piece of the pie. You understand what I mean? Without having to come to the realization that, no, you're defending the whole white supremacy. You understand what I'm saying? But you just a soldier that's stationed right there. You understand what I mean? And they got enough soldiers stationed all over. But, you know, that to me was the thing that happened. And then these people started becoming more of the role models. You know what I'm saying? And just the fact that they had money started becoming a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I used to like Bill Cosby because of the movie with Sidney Poitier.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Movies, bro.
Yeah, and Fat Albert and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know he had all that money.
Me and
You know what I'm saying? That was something that came when you say buy NBC. You got that kind of loot, Bill? You know what I'm saying? Nobody knew he had that kind of money. But now, a person is much more likely to be a celebrity just because of that. You know, they don't even have to be good at the thing that they made the money off of.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So,
that's deep too.
you know, that like changed the value system. You know what I'm saying? To where, you know, it's a different type of people out here now that, you know, they just didn't have the same formative images. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you see it became a style a couple years ago. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, when I was little, a lot of people was walking around with them African shirts on. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had afros. You know, that was the images and you know how I seen black people. You know what I'm saying? You know, whereas now the images that they seeing out there, you know what I'm saying, is you know, is bringing about a different mentality. You know what I'm saying? But to me, you know, the LA riots and the OJ verdict, it sent a message to the colored man that these people is not on the same page with us. You know what I'm saying? Like they showed this one thing I watched on TV, right? And it was a split screen. And in one screen, it was some black people, and they was watching the news and the TV, waiting for the OJ verdict to come out. And on the other screen, it was some white people doing the same thing. You know what I mean? So when he got, you know, when they came back not guilty, you know, the people on the white screen, they was like crying. You know, it was, yo, how could this happen? You know, and the people in the black screen was like their team just won the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I think they look like. Wait a minute, we don't like this. You know, when you supposed to be happy when Massa when Massa house burned down, you supposed to be sad with us. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to.
I was young. I was in the 4th grade.
Mm-hmm.
No, matter of fact, I was in the 6th grade. And I remember like people really like running outside, screaming, talking about that thing, like jumping up and down. Like,
yeah. You know, but that's when they realized that, yo, we've got to, you know, get their value system back in line with ours. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so they put all that, you know, I wouldn't say capitalism, you know, at the highest level that what they dealing with. You know what I'm saying? But it did, see, first of all, you know, it does two things. You know what I'm saying? That kind of tokenism, you know, when you put on the news, oh, this person right here got $1 billion, that person. See, first of all, it makes everybody think that they might get $1 billion. So let's cooperate with the system until we get our billion. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and it also gives them kind of like that ability to say, well, you know, he got $1 billion. What's wrong with you? Must be you. You know, how could he have $1 billion and you don't have $1 billion?
That pull yourself up out of bootstrap.
Right. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so and it, you know, it allows them to say, well, you know, and you know, and I've seen this, you know, in different things. Like I've seen people, particularly Oprah Winfrey. You know what I'm saying? You know, I've seen them throw that back in Oprah's face. Like, Oprah, you talking about oppression. You got $2 billion. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you talking about black people can't achieve? You got $2 billion. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, all of those are the different tactics that they use, and these are all the different tactics, you know what I'm saying, that they come in at the people with, you know what I'm saying, and you know, over time, you know, they not only they destroyed, you know, the idea even, you know what I'm saying, of the movement, to where, like, you know, this Black Lives Matter thing is something else. It's not related to, you understand what I'm saying? It's not like how you said the Black Panthers, they was the SNCC people, you know what I'm saying, that was rolling with the SCLC people. You understand what I'm saying? You know, but you know, now, and you know, just the whole idea and the whole way how people speak on things, you know, the people of color thing, all these type of things is things that it covers up the real situation. You understand what I mean? You know, you know, and just certain things, even when they try to change the what's the name, like one thing I don't like what they do is when they try to change everything and say, well, it's not about race, it's about poverty.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Other people is poor because they came here poor. Like if you was poor in Mexico, why are you supposed to be rich over here? You know what I'm saying? If you was poor in Italy, Ireland, Hungary, wherever you was at, you supposed to be poor when you get here because you was poor when you left over there. That's a totally different situation to why black people who history here in America is poor. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We poor because you did specific things to make us poor and then keep us poor. But you look, even from the time you came over there with the traders, when you taking slaves, some of these people came from the royal families. They wasn't poor. You know, even with the Native Americans, dude, they poverty is not the same, you know what I'm saying, as other people, you know, Southeast Asian. Those people came from Southeast Asian poor.
Yeah.
But see, all these different things now, that's what I'm saying, that everything is more clouded now. You know, there's still people out there, you know what I'm saying, that's, you know, it's still people out there that's, you know, they 100. You know, I watch a lot of people on what's the name, on YouTube that, you know, they still got the idea and the message and everything. You know what I'm saying? But you know, as a whole, now people don't understand it the same way. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, for one, you got people with a different set of experiences. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're dealing with the 60s, right? In the 70s, you know, most of those people had history with down south. You understand what I'm saying? Like they've seen all this, you know, KKK and all this stuff firsthand. You know, like, you know, I've had a cross burned in my particular yard. You understand what I'm saying? You know, I got a cousin or something that, yeah, he, you know, got in trouble with some white people. We ain't seen him since. You understand what I'm saying? You know, as opposed to now, you know, you probably get your makeup advice from the Kardashians. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, it's a whole. You know, it's a whole different dynamic. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we already knew this. You know, they continue daily. You know, and we gotta continue daily too. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, the realization has to come about for a lot of people that, you know, our condition equals survival. You know what I'm saying? For colored people. You know what I'm saying? There's just no other way. Like I said, you could break some things down in the most simplistic of form. Right now, if brothers stop committing crimes in New York City, the economy upstate will collapse.
Say that again now?
If brothers in New York City stop doing crime, the economy upstate will collapse.
You may have to be more specific for him about it.
Yeah. You mean the jails?
Yeah, that's all they got.
Okay, got
I
you.
mean, I knew. But
Yeah, all the factories and all of that closed down. That was dealt with outsourcing in the 50s and the 60s. All those farms, upstate New York was factories and farms. The factories got outsourced. The farms got collected up into those industrial farms. Right now, most of the food come from like 4 or 5 companies.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So now, we got all this unemployment, white unemployment. You understand what I'm saying? So we got to make a move. That's the move they made. You know what I'm saying? It was a brother that wrote a book. I can't recall the name of the book, but in it, he said that like 80%, it was like 80% of the people in state prison in New York come from 7 neighborhoods in New York City. You know what I'm saying? So if they lose 80%, you know, who can afford to lose 80% of their clientele?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In anything.
Game over.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now imagine if the brothers in a handful of other towns, Buffalo, Rochester, West, but imagine they stop too. You know, and mind you, you know, New York State is on the western end. They got a company called Corecraft. Corecraft is on stock market and all that.
What is corporate?
That's just the name of their company that they use. Like they whatever, like they manufacture you know, furniture,
Okay.
they bake bread, make soap, all that type of stuff. You understand what I'm saying? That's the company that the prison labor works through, you know what I'm saying? All of that, you know, so that's big business.
Is it? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, even in terms of, we had calculated on here one day, I can't recall, does anybody recall the numbers from the day we calculated how much more money they spend on a prison inmate than they spend on a pupil in the schools?
Children education.
Yeah. Like, you know, for each child, they got a certain number that this is how much we spend on each child. You know what I'm saying? And for each prisoner, they got a certain number, meaning like, you know, the electricity got to be on, we got to pay this many teachers, this many COs, you know, whatever it is, they got a particular cost, you know, the food, we got to get them and everything, you know, and the reality is they spend a considerable amount more money, you know what I'm saying, on the prisons. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, that money don't just disappear. You know, when they spend it, it goes into their friends' pockets. You know what I'm saying? Whoever they make these deals with. You know what I'm saying? So, just saying that, you know, that's just one small example of how our condition, right, is day survival. You know what I'm saying? You know, the amount of things, you know, what would the music industry be now, you know what I'm saying, if it wasn't for hip hop?
Zero.
Like, if people never signed over all the rights to hip hop to these major labels, you know, rock and roll ain't getting no money.
Country's not getting no money.
Ain't getting no money. You know, they might got 1 or 2 people up at the top that's doing a little something, but besides Taylor Swift, who you got?
Nobody.
You understand what I'm saying? But the only reason they got that is because brothers was in a condition where it's like, yo, I'm trying to get paid. You know, it's going to take me years to get paid on my own. You understand what I mean? But I could take this check right now from the dude. You know what I mean? But you gave up all the control now. You know, you gave up.
It's the gratification.
You gave up the whole ability to, you know, direct how this thing go and everything. You know what I'm saying? You know, the type of people, you know, like in you know, hip hop don't even speak to the same people.
No.
You know what I mean? It's not speaking to the same people. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, that's just another example. You know what I'm saying? Of you know, ways that we keep them afloat. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like when you know, you start getting into lessons and, you know, you see about, you know, how much useful land the original man uses and how much useful land the colored man uses, you know what I'm saying? And you start drawing that up, you see that we are the useful land that the colored man is using. You know what I'm saying? You know, like I said, the first capital in capitalism was land, and the second capital was black people. Because remember, the Industrial Revolution came after capitalism. So all that other factory equipment, that's down the line from us. Oh, there you go right here. Wazoo says $64,642 per inmate versus $11,495 per student. A $53,146 difference since 2018.
So to house one inmate costs $64,000. This is a
per year.
And they only give $11,000 to the school system for kids for education. That shows
That's by design.
the
That's by
pipeline
design.
prison.
That's what it's showing you.
Format right there.
That's what it's showing you. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and you know, oddly enough, especially in New York City, a lot of teachers marry the police.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, that's just it. That's one of them, you know, kind of quirky things that I don't really know if there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
But that's a thing in New York. You know what I mean? But so you know, the company is Core Mark. I guess that's their common name is Core Craft. You know, but you know, these is
That's crazy.
is all the different things. See, but these things is obscure now. You know what I'm saying? You know, the dog whistle is in more than just politics. You know what I'm saying? Where, you know, certain things become unacceptable. You know what I'm saying? You know, certain things that get exposed, you know, like you said, things on the internet now, so certain things get exposed where, you know, they could have beat somebody down, you know, 25 years ago, and everybody had a cell phone on the set. You understand what I mean? You know, once certain things get exposed, then it's not acceptable to do that anymore. You understand what I'm saying? So we gotta find another way to do it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they got all these covert ways, you understand what I'm saying, of doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? You know, and you know, another thing that they did, you know, the way I draw it up is they just increased the size of the plantation. You know what I'm saying? To where, you know, you could go off the plane, you go all the way to California. But when you get over there, guess what? We got the same rules. You understand what I'm saying? We still ain't nothing changing. You on the same plantation. Yeah, we do business with them over there. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, these things is more obscure to the people. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that, you know, brothers lost control of hip hop. You know, the people that's thriving in it right now, they don't really, it don't really dawn on them. You understand what I'm saying? It's not something that they thinking, yo, we gotta get the control back. You know, I'm on top, let me do this or that. You know what I mean? Like, see with LeBron James, I'm saying in basketball, where he like, look, I'm on top. You know what I'm saying? I gotta speak up. Because the brothers that's down the line that's making $500,000 a year, you know, they don't got no problem firing them. You understand what I mean? But they can't fire me. They can't fire, you know, Chris Paul. They can't fire, you know, Kyrie Irving. He another person. You know, he speaks like, dude, you ain't firing me. You understand what I'm saying? So you know, that same kind of thing has to happen. 793rd said the mayor's plan to hire more teachers makes zero sense to health pros and school nurses who know the real deal, especially if one kid gets sick, since there's no holding center and others will definitely get it as a byproduct. I mean,
That's what I was talking about with this female the other day. Like, one kid get it, that's pretty much the whole school.
yeah. So GEO is the federal prison on the stock market.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, it's, you know, and these is just a few things that we touching on. You know what I'm saying? You know, that even being able to entice people into buying sneakers for $250, you know what I'm saying? A lot of that's based on their condition. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you in poverty, you want to show riches so much.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? You know. So that's
But the thing is, the sneakers only cost that much to make, God.
yeah, they cost like $13 or something. What they they said
Now it's up to $35, but back when I was going up $13 to make them, bro.
Yeah.
But our perception is we want to look good but not do good at the same time.
Crazy though.
You know what I'm
So I'm
saying?
talking about the
Look
economical illiteracy is crazy.
Yeah.
How it only costs $13, $35 to make a $20 pair of sneakers. That's
Yeah.
crazy, bro. It's crazy.
No, it is. And the thing is, like, I have a nephew who like sells Jordans or whatever, and he get them from over in China, and they'll sell them for like low ball rates, and
Of course.
he'll make easy 3 times the way he paid for it. It's like, yo, but people don't even feel like they research that type of stuff. Like, they just go straight to the store and pay $200, but they over here selling them to you for easily $50 and $60.
Mm-hmm.
Period, point blank. All they want to do is make a couple bucks off of it, just to make some money off of it. Hey, here.
Mm-hmm.
But no, we'll go to the store and spend $200, $300, $400.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. It is.
Yeah. And because a lot of that is like you said, because of the image. You know, I started seeing some of that in the you know, you traveled, right? And like, for instance, you know, in Germany, Benz and Beamers ain't all that much like that. Cadillacs cost more over there than Benzes and Beamers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but see, because the image, they to them, this is American car.
Yeah.
You know, everything in America is. You know what I mean? The same way that to us, that's rare, but to them, you talking about this is you know what I mean? Like, look, Coogee don't cost all that much in Italy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. To them, that's some trash, and dudes. You understand what I'm saying? You know, so you know, that's when I first started seeing that. You know, a lot of it is just based upon the advertising. You know what I mean? How they market it. You know what I'm saying? As you know, whatever to the people. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, our ignorance of that level of it. You know, that's just another way that they extracting the wealth. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what they've been doing since you know, they left out of Europe.
But the crazy thing is they promoted us. Their movie, I don't know if you ever saw it, called Dope. Like, it came out probably, I'm gonna say probably about 7, 8 years ago.
What was it about?
It was about this black kid who he was in college and he was selling basically ecstasy or whatever in college. But he was also selling like bootleg stuff. And the thing was, the way he and this is like coming to it, it was like, the thing was, he had 2 purses, right? And he was explaining, like, the white people will buy the fake purse and we will all think it's real.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody will think it's real just because it's a white woman and
Right.
she got on this Gucci purse. They're going to think it's real and it costs $300, even though she went to Chinatown to get it for $20.
Right.
We'll go out and buy the $300 purse.
And people still say it's fake.
Yeah,
That's
at
right,
the
though.
same time. And that's how he broke it down. Yeah. And it's crazy. And people won't even look at it and be like, yo, that's a fake purse. Don't even think about it. But they will call that, she can't afford no purse like that. That's fake. But she be done really went out and spent $300, $400 for that purse.
Yeah.
Just to say I got this purse.
Yeah. And they
Don't even have
that.
$300 in the purse, which is even much more crazy.
You know when I first
Yeah.
you know when I first did, learned about that, even though at that time it was a little bit different, but I realized they got a lot of fake stuff when I found out that like when you see rich people, right, and you see them out with their jewelry, that jewelry is the fake jewelry.
Yeah.
But look, they got the real jewelry, but that's in the safe back at the crib. Just in case anything happened and this right here get stolen, this ain't the official jump off. Yes.
And then they don't wear diamonds in there because diamonds make your jewelry in the value anyway.
Yeah.
It's gold that keeps the value in it, but once you put diamonds, it lowers the value. So you won't see them having diamonds all in their chains. It's only us that have diamonds all up in our chains.
Now that's something that, talking about economic literacy, diamonds is actually not that rare.
They're not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Period.
But it's the
Perception.
Beers company, they limit how many they let out onto the market.
That's how they make their bread.
Yeah, and then they put the diamonds as a woman's best friend and the diamond engagement ring.
Yeah.
All of that is a marketing thing.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? That raised the level of what a diamond is worth. But yeah, they not
They're
even.
not worth nothing.
Yeah, they not worth what people charge for them. You understand what I'm saying? But all those levels of ignorance, that's what the trader do. You know what I'm saying? He's coming to buy low and sell high.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? So those is all the aspects, man, that people, and there's some things too. I'm gonna tell you another thing about teaching is that the people gotta be ready.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? See, we was prepared. Like I said, like in 1992, 93, 94, we're talking about the end of people really having that kind of civil rights consciousness. You understand what I'm saying? It's kind of like a steady line. You know what I'm saying? Like, me growing up, always hearing about Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, this person, that person, the Black Panthers, that has my mind open to hear somebody come and tell me who the original man is. You understand what I'm saying? As opposed to if you've been growing up, talking about, twerking and with it, drilling and all this type of stuff, you understand what I mean? Then that's the only kind of consciousness you got.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? That's what you find magnetic, you know what I'm saying, is partially based on that.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? So, that's something that, in my opinion, people gotta hit rock bottom. And it's crazy as it sounds, it's not rock bottom yet. If it was, people wouldn't be willing to pay $200 for a $35 pair of sneakers.
Crazy.
You understand what I'm saying? A lot of things have moved backwards, you know what I'm saying, to where, people feel like it's some kind of virtue to spend all your money with the colored man.
That's a fact.
Like when you see instances, like I can't recall who it was. It was one of these rappers, and they was trying to him out of the Gucci store.
Oh yeah, I remember.
So then to prove his point to them, he dropped like 50,000 in there or something.
Was it?
I forgot who it was.
Like, dude, they just tell you they don't want your money, man. Like, why would you give them all this money and then act like you doing something to them?
Yeah. Like reverse psychology on their part, though.
Yeah. But look, that's
we gotta prove a point to spend here. No, okay, I'm gonna go buy the black store and I'm gonna spend 50,000 there.
You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. Like people gotta, some has gotta snap the people out of that. I thought that, the everything that happened this year, I thought was gonna, was beginning to snap the people out of it. You know what I'm
They
saying?
just rocked them back to sleep though.
Yeah.
Like I feel like right now everything is like it's not going back to normal, but people is normalizing it back again. It's like it's like basically sucked it back into the matrix at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like like you said, like you saw the protesting, you saw the riot, and you saw people like seeming like, okay, these people, everybody waking up, and then all of a sudden, like it's just dying down. You don't see it no more. You
Yeah.
see it little by the people who really is about it, but other than that, everybody just back into the normal swing of things. Things done open back up in some places. Like I know, like back home in North Carolina, things done open up, so people are just back out and about. Like
Everything is open?
basically everything is open. Like even the bars and the clubs is open.
Wow.
Yeah. They
Partying
back,
down
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Like it's 1999, really. Seriously.
Party.
I mean, that's it.
Buffets is open up back down there.
Nah, I'm Gucci. I'm cool on that one. They can have that one.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that they lucked up on that they was able to take advantage. Is that they kind of had the people cooped up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not able to do certain things. So then, as soon as they put something out there, they just jump right on it. But
Oh, but was North Carolina on the list though? They got off the list? Or we going up again? They was on the list.
They I think they
It was
still
there?
on the list, but
Oh, wow.
down there they don't care. It's like he was just saying.
Crazy.
Because they've been so cooped up for so long, they're not even thinking about what's going on because they just want to have fun.
Of
Like
course.
if you hear everybody talking about, yo man, this just messed up my summer. As soon as something open up, everybody's out. Saw the beaches in what was it, Miami? As soon as the beaches open up, like they was back down there. Even Myrtle Beach, like people back packed down there for Labor Day just this weekend. Everybody was packed down there.
yeah,
I'm good. Whatever it's called, it's a real thing. I don't know what it is, but it's a real thing.
Yeah.
It's real.
most definitely.
Yeah, it's real.
But yo, everybody in the room, we about to turn it down. I don't know what happened with the buffering, how it's gonna come out on the replay. Somebody let me know how that comes along. I actually might come back on tonight so I can test this out, man, and see what's going on with my system over here. But everybody that's in the room right now, do the each one teach one, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you want to be up on the lives, hit the notification button. And of course, y'all know I'll be back tomorrow, Tuesday at 7 o'clock with the Civilization class. And in the meantime and in between time, peace.
Peace, peace, peace.
Peace.
That was good. What happened with the God Sunday?